We can all relate to that feeling of starting an engine that we've just fixed, to see if our hard work has paid off. And then that almost subconscious relief and satisfaction we get when we hear the engine kick into life. But yet a split second later, that elation that you're feeling turns into absolute horror when the engine catastrophically fails and parts are ejected off the machine right past your face, and you were the one that caused that fault. It's happened to me twice, and honestly, it's hard to share these mistakes online in front of tens of thousands of people, but if it saves one person from serious injury, or even worse, then I think it's worth it. Unfortunately, one of the most dangerous mistakes that we can make as mechanics is also one that's so easy to do and a problem that's so easy to overlook. And this is especially true when you're in a rush and you're chasing convenience when working on these small 2- and 4-stroke engines that we all come across. As mentioned, and as embarrassing as it is to admit it to you, I've actually done this twice, and I remember both times vividly, and it's absolutely terrifying. You see, when working on these machines, be it in this case a Honda line trimmer, it's so convenient and even routine to remove the attachment so it doesn't get in your way. It's something that you don't give any thought to. You do the necessary repair, and then of course you want to test the machine afterwards. And in some cases, it's just more convenient not having that cumbersome attachment in the way. And yet in other times, it's actually necessary to test the machine without it in place. Maybe you want to access, say, the oil seals to be able to do a dynamic vacuum test with the engine running. Maybe you need to test an oil pump, an ignition system, or just have a clear, unobstructed line of sight to a certain area. And without even thinking, we go to turn the ignition on. You pull the cord, and within a split second, you've turned this benign small engine into an incredibly dangerous machine. You see, on some machines, it's actually quite safe to start them without the attachment on, those that don't have a centrifugal clutch. Yet, for example, on this Honda line trimmer that I'm working on, the clutch drum is actually inside the housing connected to the shaft. And that's the only part that ensures that this clutch stays together when the engine's running. Worst still is that the starting procedure for these engines is to lock the trigger and that throttle open. This therefore increases the speed and the velocity at which those clutch shoes will travel away from the machine. All the while we are hunched over it, starting it, our face is right by the clutch. And watching this video now, you may think that it's such an obvious mistake, it's something you'd never do. However, these mistakes happen when our attention is shifted elsewhere. Maybe it's the additional pressure from the job or task that you need to complete with the engine at home in your garden. For others, it may be a demanding customer or just a backlog of machines that you need to get through. You could be tired or just simply focused on the success of the repair, and your familiarity with these machines leads to carelessness. Just remind yourself that any time you want to start one of these machines, that every part is attached, be it the clutch cover on a chainsaw, the shaft on a line trimmer, or the chute on a lawnmower. Small engine repair is great fun, and it's a rewarding challenge and a great way to save or even make money. But don't make the same mistake that I have. You don't realize how limiting an injury is or how much additional pressure and stress it puts on a family until you're actually in that position. And on the topic of securing parts to an engine, using a torque wrench is an excellent way to do so. But knowing how to calibrate one yourself at home without the need for any specialist tools can be incredibly useful to know, and it will save you money too. I've got that information on how to do so up here in a video for you next.